Seeing as we're all still stuck inside, isolated from one another, we put together another amazing compilation of some of the scariest videos we've ever seen. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. When it comes to capturing spiritual activity on camera, poltergeists are a goldmine. The main thing that separates a poltergeist from a typical ghost is that poltergeists have the ability to interact with their environments. They can move objects, turn off lights, and even physically attack the humans unfortunate enough to dwell in the same space. This makes poltergeist activity significantly easier to capture on film. YouTube channel Nerve Paranorm set out to capture such footage in a creepy abandoned house, rumoured to be haunted by a poltergeist. The YouTuber wanders around the house attempting to attract the attention of the ghost. After a few minutes, a loud whistle prompts the poltergeist to move a chair resting just outside the view of the camera. A few minutes later, while he's attempting to open a door inside the house, another door nearby begins to violently rattle. The door is locked from the outside, but the ghost hunters are understandably disturbed by the violent sounds. They approach the door to investigate, and it begins to rattle even louder. A loud banging sound from the floor below draws their attention away from the door. As they begin to walk down the stairs, the door at the top of the landing that was locked only seconds before swings open all on its own. Nervously, the YouTubers decide to ascend the old staircase. At the top, they find an old dusty attic. After exploring for a few minutes, they find nothing that could explain the door rattling on its own. Is it possible some sort of spirit was trapped in the attic, just waiting to be released? It's hard to tell if these bizarre occurrences were recorded with the help of a sneaky accomplice. The footage certainly looks genuine, and staging such a long, drawn-out video in a creepy abandoned house that's falling to pieces would certainly take some planning. This eerie footage certainly makes you wonder, are ghosts real? Areas that once served as battlefields in the countless wars that humanity has fought are often considered to be important historical landmarks. Tourists flock to these locations every day to explore the sites where some of history's bloodiest battles have been fought. However, not all battlefield tourists are history buffs. Some make their visits to the battlefield in search of an answer to the question, are ghosts real? In July of 1863, the American Civil War reached a fevered pitch when the Confederate soldiers launched their attack on the northern town of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. This battle would prove to be the turning point in the war. The Union victory at Gettysburg was the first of many victories that would lead the northern states to win the war as they pushed their enemies back towards the south. In this 3-day battle, over 7,500 soldiers lost their lives. When people die in violent or tragic ways, it's said that it's more likely that their spirits will linger on the earth after death. For this reason, Gettysburg is often considered one of the most haunted cities in the world. In this video uploaded to YouTube by Yankee Reb, a group of amateur ghost hunters visits a Gettysburg battlefield in the dark of night, in hopes of capturing one of these infamous ghosts on film. They park their car on the road near the battlefield, the darkness slightly illuminated by the car's headlights. For several minutes, the only thing that the camera records is a set of antique cannons lined up alongside the road. Eventually, these Civil War weapons yield up something far more interesting. As the camera rolls, a pale white shape begins to form just behind the cannons. The shape moves closer to the road, and it eventually becomes clear that this could be the ghostly form of a Civil War soldier.
No way, what is that?
The figure walks around the front of one of the cannons, then disappears as suddenly as it arrived.
I have no friggin' idea.
Did you get that on the camera? It's recording.
Could this be the ghost of an unfortunate soldier who lost his life behind one of these same cannons? More importantly, does this answer the question, are ghosts real?
Did you get that on the camera?
In October 2016, James Rankin posted this unsettling clip to his YouTube channel, Dateline 420. When Rankin was walking through the woods near Huntington, New York, he wasn't anticipating any scary encounters. After all, he had hiked these woods numerous times, as he states in the video. However, on this day, he found something truly spine-chilling. Attached to numerous trees in a small area of the woods, he spots over 24 missing person posters in plastic sheet protectors. Each poster featured a different person, and the locations where the people went missing spanned the entire United States.
Look at that. These are just the ones that I've gone and close up.
After investigating the area more closely, Rankin also found a dirty blanket and canned food. Most disturbingly, he came across what appeared to be a cage made out of tree branches.
As if to make a cage, or a shelter, or a lean-to, or a trap.
In the video, Rankin is clearly disturbed by his encounter. He theorizes that the spot he's discovered was a shrine erected by a serial killer to memorialize his victims. He was so disturbed by his discovery that he reported it to local police, who agreed it warranted investigation. They later informed him that the landowner claimed the shrine was set up for a Halloween party, but Rankin is skeptical. He believes that the detectives wanted to downplay the find and used the approaching holidays as an excuse to mask the activities of a dangerous predator. I'll throw this one out to you. What do you think? Have you seen this footage before? Could it really just be a Halloween attraction? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. This terrifying video was posted to Facebook by Gino Scheepers. It was recorded on a security camera in Cape Town, South Africa. Many of the viewers of the video are certain that it depicts a ghost. The setting of the video appears to be the courtyard of a house or building. There's a tall fence surrounding the property to keep out intruders. Unfortunately, fences are no match for spirits. A few seconds into the video, an oblong oval moves onto the screen. It's white but very transparent. The entity moves across the yard and up to the gate. After a few seconds, it easily passes through the metal and continues along the other side. Some viewers have claimed that the entity is merely a light reflection. However, midway through the video, the entity disappears behind one of the fence posts, only to appear again on the other side. This movement would be uncharacteristic of a light blur. No one can be certain what this entity is, but they'll be surely keeping a close eye on their security cameras from now on. "300 years ago, a young Roman girl, now known as Santa Innocentia or St. Innocence, wanted to convert to Catholicism. Her father forbade her to do so, but the young girl disobeyed her father's wishes. She befriended a nun and through her joined the Catholic Church. After taking her first Holy Communion and returning home, Santa Innocentia was met with her father's wrath. Furious that she had defied him, he took out a knife and stabbed her to death. She became a martyr as one of the first people to be persecuted for the Catholic faith. Santa Innocencia's remains were preserved in wax and placed on display in the Cathedral of Guadalajara in Mexico as a holy relic. Tourists often visit the site and take photos of the mummified saint, dressed in a white ceremonial gown and resting peacefully behind the glass. When one tourist decided to take a video, they got more than they bargained for. The footage shows the videographer quickly panning over the remains before focusing on the face. As the camera records, the deceased saint suddenly opens her eyes and stares right into the camera. Has the saint returned to life? Is her spirit still haunting her final resting place? Or is this a cleverly designed hoax meant to terrify viewers? No one knows for sure, but this clip is one of the creepiest videos LiveLeak has ever seen. Love to get your opinion on this one in the comments section below. YouTuber III3AMR, another amateur ghost hunter searching for evidence of the spirit world, recorded this eerie video in June of 2019. In this video, he heads to an abandoned complex late one night, armed with a flashlight and a camera, hoping to capture the terrifying image of a ghost. Only a few minutes into his ghost hunting adventure, his camera picks up something terrifying. As he heads towards the doorway of one of the structures, he shines his flashlight through the door. He's still several yards away from the structure, but clearly he wants to make sure that there won't be any surprises waiting for him when he enters. Unfortunately, the structure is not as empty as it seems. Peeking out from behind a wall inside the structure, he sees a dark figure with a large head and glowing white eyes. The entity seems to be watching him. Even after the flashlight illuminates the creature, it doesn't move. Unlike many recordings of shadow entities, this is more than just a fleeting glimpse. The YouTuber runs into the building where he saw the entity, hoping for a closer look. By the time he arrives at the spot where he saw the ghost, it's gone. He continues his exploration, hoping to capture more footage of the bizarre shadow entity. He walks around the rooms in the rundown abandoned building, finding nothing but trash and empty corridors. After a few minutes, he heads back outside to try one of the other buildings in the complex. Once again, he spots the eerie shadow creature's glowing eyes peering out from inside a building. This time, it watches him through a window. Once again, it disappears before he gets too close. He finds no trace of the creature inside the building. One final time, he heads outside, and once more the entity can be seen watching him through a window. This time, our YouTuber's attempt to approach the entity is interrupted by a terrified scream. He's unable to locate the source of the cries, but clearly believes the terrifying shadow entity is to blame. While Ghost Investigators Society members Brendan Cook and Barbara McBeath were exploring an abandoned mental asylum in Ogden, Utah, they managed to capture a very chilling EVP. This audio, taken from an excerpt of the program Midnight in the Desert, was uploaded to the YouTube channel KP in September 2015. According to Cook and McBeath, they were called in to investigate by the current owner of the property, after several strange occurrences were reported during renovations. After searching the building, Cook decided to leave his mic in one of the rooms. Several minutes passed before it suddenly picked up a series of very chilling noises. Among the noises, you can hear what sounds like a voice. Some believe it could be a woman or child saying, help me, I'm drowning, I can't breathe." The recording also sounds as if it's picked up the voice of a male that seems to be grunting intermittently between the cries for help. The audio then continues for several more seconds before the sound of splashing water can be heard. This recording is one of the clearest EVPs ever captured, and as so is thought by some skeptics to be a hoax. However, many others believe that it proves that the dead are capable of communicating with us. Perhaps in this case it could be the voice of someone who was forcibly drowned in a bathtub. Cook claims that there was no one in the building at the time the recording was made. He thinks that it could be some kind of residual audio loop that is present in the atmosphere. McBeath agrees, adding that she feels like the voice belongs to a person who wants somebody to know what happened to them. What do you think? Have the investigators really captured the voice of someone who drowned in this mental asylum? Or could there be another explanation for this startling audio recording? What could be more innocent than a man taking a break from his day to enjoy a quick lunch? In this case, a quick bite to eat ends up turning into one of the internet's scary video clips that seem to defy explanation. The live leak video shows a man sitting behind a glass countertop in a store somewhere in China. The footage from the video most likely came from a security camera. In the short video, the man glances away for a moment, leaving his cup of noodles on the glass counter. Suddenly, the entire cup of noodles shoots into the air in a violent explosion. The food splatters onto the countertop as the man watches in horror. He attempts to examine the cup but seems completely perplexed as to what could have caused the bizarre explosion. Those who have watched the video after it hit the internet have a few theories that they believe could explain the incident. One theory is that the man put the hot cup on top of his cell phone, causing the battery to overheat and explode. However, when the man picks up the cup, it's clear that there's nothing under it. Another theory is that the hot plastic of the cup against the cool glass of the counter created a strong suction between the two surfaces. After the suction built up to a sufficient level, it shot the cup into the air. Of course, other viewers believe that there is only one plausible explanation, that an angry poltergeist took out its frustration on an innocent man's lunch. This creepy clip was supposedly taken from an unknown Mexican TV reality show. Uploaded to YouTube more than 10 years ago, the video shows a man exploring a cemetery somewhere in Mexico. Through the darkness, he suddenly hears what sounds like a young girl crying. He searches in the darkness, desperate to find the disembodied voice. Finally, he spots a creepy figure sitting by a grave. It looks to be a young girl with long black hair wearing a white dress. She can be heard moaning as she turns towards the camera, revealing glowing eyes.
Amiga. Niña.
Scared, the man runs into the dark of the night. Unfortunately, there's very little information available about this video. Supposedly, the producers of the show heard stories from locals that a mysterious crying could be heard in the cemetery at nighttime. The host was said to be so traumatized by the experience that he had to get therapy.
Niña. Ay, no seas imbécil.
This scary home video was uploaded to Exploring with Danny's YouTube channel in April 2019. At the beginning of the clip, Danny explains that he's decided to return to an abandoned chapel, alone, to do some more filming, after experiencing paranormal activity during several previous live sessions on Facebook. As Danny is searching the premises, he can be heard taunting any spirits present to throw a cup at him.
Would you throw a cup at me again, please?
Suddenly, he hears a sound coming from another room and decides to investigate.
What the hell was that?
Cautiously, he enters the room and begins looking around. He approaches a World War II memorial plaque on one of the walls that contains the names of several soldiers that died in the war. Curiously, one of those that perished was actually named Bert Death. Suddenly, Danny hears another noise and turns in the direction it came from.
What the hell was that?
There, watching him through a window, is what appears to be a ghostly-looking nun. He lets out a loud scream and immediately runs from the chapel.
Oh my God!
Once outside, he attempts to process what he's just seen. Still clearly distraught, he turns to focus his camera on the outside of the building. If you look closely at the roof on the left side of the screen, you can actually see some sort of ghostly figure standing on the roof. Danny doesn't seem to notice it at the time, however, he does mention it in the video's description. He soon notices something in one of the upstairs windows and zooms in to take a closer look. It appears to be the face of the nun that spooked him inside the chapel.
Come on, show yourself. Guys.
Not wanting another confrontation with the supernatural entity, Danny wisely decides to leave the area. Since the footage was released, viewers have hotly debated its authenticity. Some think that it has to be staged, while others believe that Danny's reactions seem very genuine.
What the hell's that?
Oh my God!
So what do you think? Has this YouTuber really recorded the ghost of a nun inside this spooky old chapel? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. A family day at the playground is a wonderful time to make some memories. In this video, a family takes videos of their young daughter as she runs around the playground, having a good time playing on the swings, slides and jungle gyms at their local park. Everything seems normal and carefree as the family has a wonderful day together. However, when the family reviewed the footage, they discovered an uninvited guest that had made an appearance. In one shot in the footage, when their daughter was running around on the jungle gym, they noticed a slightly older girl with very pale skin and dark hair standing at the top of the jungle gym. She's staring directly into the camera as the girl runs past. What's truly disturbing is her expression. She appears to be glaring at the camera with an evil scowl. When the camera pans back, the girl is gone. To make matters even more terrifying, the family is certain that when they were there in the park, there was no other child at the top of the jungle gym when the footage was shot. They certainly would have remembered a girl glaring at them so menacingly. Could this video then be depicting some sort of unhappy spirit? If so, who is she? Many ghost hunters are familiar with EVP, or electronic voice phenomenon. With this technology, paranormal enthusiasts attempt to collect audio evidence of life beyond the grave. Often, ghosts are able to be picked up through audio, even when their forms are invisible to the naked eye. You don't always need fancy equipment to pick up EVP. Sometimes a cell phone camera is enough to capture the voice of a ghost. When this videographer is working the security detail at an empty building in Los Angeles, California, he's disturbed when he hears strange noises. Believing that he's alone in the building, he goes to investigate, hoping not to encounter an intruder. He calls out, asking if anyone's there.
Hello?
At first, the room is silent. Then, the camera picks up a sound that is barely audible. The security guard continues calling out in hopes of getting a clearer reply.
Hello?
Unfortunately, when he gets a response, it's not the one he's hoping for. As the guard calls out into the empty room, he's eventually answered by the echoing whisper of a disembodied voice saying, "I'm here." The guard quickly exits the area, choosing to leave behind the uninvited guest.
Oh, no, I'm leaving. Bye.
Many of the scary video clips that make their way into circulation are set in the darkness of a forest or inside of abandoned buildings late at night. When watching this footage, we can console ourselves by insisting we'd never wander into such an eerie location. However, when terrifying things begin to happen in a brightly lit office, we realize that none of us are truly safe from the paranormal. This frightening video shows footage from a surveillance camera in an office building in Syria. The room is a typical open-plan office. There are numerous desks around the room, bright red office chairs, and paperwork cluttering most of the desktops. After a few seconds, a man enters and takes a seat at one of the desks. He begins to work, the empty office quiet around him. Suddenly, a chair sitting in front of a nearby desk begins to move. As he is alone, the man is clearly baffled. He studies the chair hesitantly for a few moments. While his back is turned, another chair pushes away from its desk. Just as the man seems ready to brush it off as a trick of the light, the papers on his desk suddenly erupt into the air. The video ends before we can catch a glimpse of the man's reaction to this unusual haunting. Love to get your opinions on this one in the comments section below. These scary home videos were all posted to the YouTube channel Ghosts of Carmel, Maine. In this one, entitled Daymares, the owner of the channel, Kent, shows some of the most chilling things he's witnessed in his house. While he believes that there are several supernatural entities present, there is one in particular which he's named Shadow Dude that seems to make itself known more so than the others. Kent says that while Shadow Dude has never physically attacked him, his attacks are more mental, as he often scares Kent by appearing suddenly. In the first clip, Kent has supposedly captured Shadow Dude standing at the bedroom window, before suddenly disappearing. It's almost as if he flies right out the window. In another clip, Kent sets up a camera at the bottom of the stairs after hearing some mysterious noises. After a few minutes, a ghostly face can be seen peering around the corner. It's hard to see at first, but if you look closely at the top left side of the stairs, you can clearly see the face peeking out. Shortly after it disappears, the camera is mysteriously knocked over. Later in the video, Kent enters his bedroom and notices that his curtains are moving in a peculiar manner. Suddenly, a black shape appears to leap from the window. In the first clip on another video, Kent decides to investigate some strange sounds that he can hear coming from the second level of his house. He cautiously climbs the stairs and enters his bedroom. After asking if there's somebody up there, he returns to the stairs. Suddenly, he hears a noise and re-enters the bedroom.
What the hell is that noise?
Son of a...
There, standing right in front of him, is a dark, shadowy figure. Scared by what he's just witnessed, Kent lets out a mighty scream and the video abruptly ends.
What the hell is that noise?
Son of a...
Many viewers believe that the footage Kent posts to his YouTube channel are some of the most authentic paranormal clips on the internet. While it's difficult to say for sure, many of the incidents do appear to be genuine. Is this house really haunted by a shadowy ghost, or could Kent's footage reveal something else entirely? Meter Addison had apparently been hearing stories about the scary encounters that others had been having near the Umatilla Reservation in the Pacific Northwest United States. She comments that she's finally getting to hear what everyone else has been talking about. As she and a few men walk near the edge of the forest, a terrifying noise suddenly shatters the silence of the night. The noise sounds like a burst of loud, eerie laughter echoing through the trees. The sound comes every few seconds at irregular intervals. So what could be making such a sound? Commenters have suggested a hyena or coyote, but others insist these animals sound nothing like the laughter in the video. Other suggestions have ranged from Bigfoot to witches haunting the area near the reservation. Meter Addison and her companions try to mimic the sound to call out the entity, but receive no reply. The forest eventually quiets down, but the group is still too frightened to go any further into the woodlands to further investigate the evil laughter. In March 2010, the American Paranormal Research Association uploaded a video to their YouTube channel that contains what many believe to be one of the clearest EVP recordings ever captured. It was recorded at the Saugus train station in Santa Clarita, California. The station is now a popular tourist attraction. However, when it first opened in 1887, waiting cowboys were occasionally known to shoot up the depot as a way of greeting the arriving trains. The station was also the scene of the famous train robbery, where one night in 1929, outlaw Buffalo Tom Vernon derailed and looted engine number 59. The depot was finally closed in November 1978, shortly after it was moved to its present location within the William S. Hart Park. The EVP that was captured by the American Paranormal Research Association was recorded on the second floor of the building when the only people present were two male investigators. It's believed by the investigators that the voice belongs to a female who says, "Will that be on the train?" However, one viewer mentioned that they thought it actually sounded more like, "Will that be our train?" Going on to note that the voice had the correct accent and syntax for someone who lived more than 100 years ago. In the video's description, it says that the audio's been reviewed and tested by various professionals, and that the titles had been added based on what they think it sounds like. However, you should draw your own conclusions as to what you think the voice is saying. Does it sound like, "Will that be on the train?" or more like, "Will that be our train?" Either way, the clarity of the clip is something that can't be denied, and certainly makes this one of the most chilling EVP recordings ever captured. In March 2019, this video surfaced, which many believe to be some of the most compelling evidence yet of a ghost caught on camera. Heather Brow and Joshua Higgins of Highland, Michigan captured footage on their Nanny cam of an eerie figure walking past their 15-month-old daughter Lily's crib. As the ghostly figure passes, the little girl can be seen popping up from her crib, as if she too can see something moving in the room. Brow believes that she's been attacked by whatever's in the house, and that it's also scratched their little girl. After hearing that the original owner of the house allegedly committed suicide, the family now believe it might be their ghost that is haunting the property. While the footage captured on the Nanny cam is certainly chilling, does it really prove the existence of ghosts? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. The town of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania in the United States has a reputation for being one of the most haunted cities in the world. This small town was the site of one of the bloodiest battles in the American Civil War, and stories of lingering spirits abound both on and off the battlefield. Given its violent and paranormal history, it isn't surprising that ghost hunters regularly visit Gettysburg to attempt to capture scary video clips of their very own. In this video, ghost hunter TC Ballinger sets up cameras at numerous locations around Gettysburg, hoping to capture footage of one of the battlefield's many ghosts. At first, the video is entirely still, filming the empty portion of the battlefield in the dim light. Then, near a small tree, something begins to move. At times, the entity appears to be draped in white. At others, it's merely a blur. It appears and disappears around the tree a few times, with no place close by where it could have hidden. The entity almost appears to be caught in a loop, straightening up from a crouch, peeking around the trunk of the tree as if getting ready to run out from behind it, and then completely disappearing. At other times in the video, there's clearly transparent figures walking among the trees. Because of the entity's similarity to a person wearing a sheet, many are prepared to dismiss the video as a fake. However, this theory doesn't explain how the figure could disappear and return to its starting location over and over. Creepier still, a second, unrelated video was taken in the exact same location 2 years later. The clip, which was posted by S3A Monkeys, shows a very similar entity, crouching, then standing and walking from behind the same tree. This motion also seems to repeat in a loop too, just like the first piece of footage. Is it possible that these videos have captured the lingering spirit of a long-dead Civil War casualty?
If you want more creepy ghost footage, then check out that link on the top there. Otherwise, there's a scary playlist there you can binge on. Leave us a comment down below if you enjoyed this video, or hit that thumbs up button. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.